Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Hopefully, you are doing well wherever you're watching from. We are still participating in the 21-day Capshaw Habit Challenge, and I'm still playing catch up. However, today's assignment was to create a vertical video. So, just happy to create this video. And so, have you ever gone on vacation and instead of staying there at the resort or the Airbnb, have you ever participated or gone on a tour or an excursion just to kind of explore a little bit further the local environment in which you're staying? Well, in this video, I am going to discuss one of the excursions that my wife and I participated in as we celebrated our 27th wedding anniversary, as you can tell, in Curaçao. So we like to do things. We're both educators. And so for me, I don't like to just simply sit and relax by the shore. It's great. Trust me. I love sitting by the beach or in the hotel or by the pool, just sipping on a nice cold beverage. But I also like to get out and explore. And so in this video, we're going to discuss one of the excursions that my wife and I participated in. And so hopefully this can bring some value to you. And instead of just hanging out at the resort, we want you to get out and explore the area. And so as I said, we went to Curacao, and one of the tours that we took several tours. We took a private tour, which was, my wife and I, and then a brother from another mother, two couples. We all sat in the gentleman's car, and he kind of took us around the island, which was great. But we also wanted to do something, have a little bit of fun. And so, the resort is great. Matter of fact, let me just show you where we stayed. It's a great place. I mean, this is just right off the balcony here. This is what you would call an ocean view. We stayed at the Marriott Curacao Beach Resort. And so it was great. I mean, just a few steps from my hotel room to the beach, right there by the pool as well. So you have a choice of where you can hang out. And so we just had a wonderful, wonderful time. I'm hanging out at the Marriott in Curacao. But we also love to go out and explore the area in which we're staying on. So in this particular case, we decided to book an excursion with a company called Curacao Excursions. I believe that is the name. And man, they do it right. And so let me just, instead of me talking about it so much, let me go ahead and show you. So first of all, they had someone, you know, come to our resort, pick us up, and it was just a short drive, maybe a 15-minute drive from the resort to the location. And we decided to hop in these UTVs. Now, these UTVs are much different from an ATV. Now, I'll let you try to figure out what the difference is. I can tell you, my wife and I, when we went on a trip way, probably about 20 years ago, to Cabo, we rode ATVs, and she kind of got injured. Her ATV flipped over, and so she was riding with one of my sons on her behind her, and they kind of flipped over. This is a little bit different. And if you can't tell the difference between the ATV and the UTV, the UTV right here that you see, it's very similar to a car. It drives like a car, whereas the ATV, you kind of sit in, it's like a four-wheel motorcycle. So we sat in um, this UTV with Curacao activities, and I think this one was a four-seater. So I did most of the driving. They also offer two-seaters, so that's an option for you as well. But we had so much fun in this UTV. And so basically, we left there, and we followed our tour guide. His name was Flo, and Flo was amazing. I mean, he was native to the area there, born and raised. He spoke four or five different languages. And so he was just able to give us a wonderful, wonderful experience as we toured the island of Curacao. And so, one of the first things that we did as we rode through and drove through some of the mountainside and hillside and dusty areas, I mean, it was super, super dope. One of the things that he led us through was we actually got the chance to hang out with some bats. So, and as we entered this particular cave, I was like, wait a minute, because he was like, shh, be quiet. I'm like, okay, is this where we going, bruh? So he led us to this particular cave, and these bats are fruit bats. And so, um, if I turned up the sound on the video, you can hear him saying, hey, the, it's okay. They kind of hang out in the sun. They're not going to go and, eat the humans, but they're really fruit bats. And, their name kind of gives it away. What do they eat? They eat fruit. So, we went through the cave. He talked about the different kinds of cacti. He talked about stalagmites, stalactites, the calcium. I mean, he was just giving us a whole good educational lesson as we toured this particular cave. And so it was great, great, great to experience. And then once we left there, I mean, we hopped back in, and as you can see, these things we were going at least 50 or 60 miles as we toured or drove to another, I believe it was a blowhole right off the beach. And so again, this particular island is created off of volcanic rock. And so we were able to drive to the edge. Now we weren't able to get in the water because it was too rough. But just driving around, I mean, it was kind of like driving around for a big kid. The tour guide encouraged us not to spin out and do donuts and all that kind of good stuff. But man, your boy was doing it. I mean, I wasn't doing donuts, but I was kind of slipping and sliding a little bit. So, as you can tell, it was a dusty trip, but we had a wonderful time just being able to get out and about, leaving the hotel and kind of explore the countryside there in Curacao. And then also, once we kind of finished our tour, of the cave and the blowhole. One of the things is, he's like, hey, we're going to chill out at the beach for at least 30, 40 minutes. And so this is what we did. And so I'll just kind of capture this peaceful shot right here. I mean, if I turn up the sound, you can hear just the rocks and the ocean smacking each other. And so the water is very, very clear. And one thing about a lot of these beaches over in Curacao, uh, some of these beaches are man-made. This one might have been man-made because on these man-made beaches, they have a lot of rocks in the dirt. Again, this is a volcanic island here, and so it makes it a little difficult to kind of navigate some of the shallow waters because there are so many small and large kind of rocks and boulders in the on the beach. So you have to have your water shoes to kind of traverse the water and kind of go in deep. And so, but we had a good time here, just kind of hanging out. Got a chance to get all the dust off from our trip, but that we had accumulated. But again, we had to drive back. So of course, the dust was all in our hair. And once we got back to our hotel, able to kind of shower and get all that dust and stuff off of us, based on the amount of driving that we were doing. And then the last thing, one thing I love about having these kinds of excursions, especially if you're going with a group of friends, in this case, like I said, my brother from a different mother, it's always great to experience one of these excursions with people that you love. And so these are my friends, the Williams, Jonathan and Deanna, and my wife, Riley and I, just kind of standing right by our UTV. And it was a wonderful time, just hanging out with this couple. We spent Sunday through Saturday, so almost about 7 days there, just going into town, going to the different local spots, getting food, and just kind of being immersed in the culture. So I encourage you, whenever you go out and visit another country, whether it's international or maybe even a state, maybe something domestic, a stateside, you know, go ahead and try to book some kind of activity. That way you can kind of educate yourself and know a little bit more than you did before you got to that particular island. Again, Curacao activities, man, you guys are off the chain. And so, hopefully you found some value in this particular video. Man, I know I had so much fun. And if I were to do it all over again, I definitely would. Man, I'm gonna have to maybe put that on my bucket list to visit again. Definitely, if you made it to this far, this part of the video, this far in the video, I would love if you went ahead and hit that like button. You can also leave a comment if you wish, and then hit that subscribe button as well. And man, I just can't wait to get back to Curacao. It was a wonderful, wonderful spot. But anyway, this is Mr. Riley, just trying to encourage you to not just stay at a resort once you go visit, whether it's nationally or international, but definitely get off the resort, leave the Airbnb, get out and understand a little bit more about the culture. And definitely some of these excursions will give you the information that you're wanting to get to learn and understand how the people kind of move and just how the environment of the particular island or place that you're going, you'll be able to open up your mind and learn a little bit more than having the information then that you did before you got there. All right. Other than that, Mr. Riley, signing off, coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Thanks for watching, and I'll definitely catch you in the next video. Peace, be safe, and thanks for watching.